Thank you, all of you who are joining me in how to support your child through one of the most difficult times of their lives. And yes, we're going to make it also the best thing that's happened to them. So let's get into the nitty-gritty of what is most important. Myself as a parent, I have a background in psychology, in biomechanics. I've been a teacher. I've been working with kids for over 3 decades. And I still, every single day, worry that I'm going to mess up my 13-year-old. Do any of you all relate to this? At the end of the day, if I were able to promise you these 3 things, that when your child turns 18, that they would be on a path to success, tell me if you would feel that angst that we feel right now as a parent. Okay, I can take a deep breath. I did a good job. Your kid, when they turned 18, they were set up to be successful in life. If they were a good person and they now know what it is to be a good person, and if they were happy and they knew how to find true happiness. Is there anything else that you parents out there would want for your kids other than your kid being happy, successful in life, and being a good person? Let's start with that. You're going to help my kid be happy, successful in life, and be a good person. Yes, that is my goal today. So thank you, all of you who are joining me in how to support your child through one of the most difficult times of their lives. And yes, we're going to make it also the best thing that's happened to them. So imagine that you're in Chicago. You're trying to navigate downtown and you don't know where you're going. It would be beneficial to have a map, right? I want a map. I'm from Chicago. I still want a map. I get on my phone. I still want a map when I go back home. I'm in San Francisco now, but when I go back home, I want a map. But what would happen? How would you feel if what you got instead of a map of downtown Chicago, you got a map of Detroit? Would anyone out there be as frustrated as I would be? To be honest, I'd probably be a little angry. You're going to learn this later. I would probably flip my lid. The reason I'm bringing this up is that oftentimes what we're doing as parents, especially with our kids who have a mental block, the reason this is often so difficult for us is that we're using the wrong roadmap. We think the issue is that our child lost their tumbling. That's why there's so much anger and sadness and overwhelmed, and Jeff, help us with that. Or they think, my kid is struggling to get their tumbling back. They were throwing it yesterday and now they're not throwing it and they're upset. And Jeff, help us, because it is 2 weeks before their first competition and we have got to get our back handspring back or they're going to move her in the routine. And our goal, what we really want in life, starts shifting. It might even be things like, my daughter was a flyer and now she's a base and oh my goodness, this is just awful. This is the worst thing that's ever happened to her. My son had a dream team and they didn't make it. Those are often what we think are the issues. But let's have a little conversation if any of you are open to it. Is your daughter or son losing their tumbling? Is that going to make them less successful in life? Are they not going to get the career they want? Are they not going to get into the college they want? Are they not going to get married to whom they want because they didn't get their tumbling? No! Does them not getting their tumbling make them a bad person? Think of what we talked about earlier. Hey, Jeff, I want my kid to be happy, successful in life, and be a good person. That about sums up what I want for my kids. Those are your goals as a parent. Those are your roadmap of downtown Chicago. If you only focus on that roadmap and every choice that's in front of you as a parent focuses on, is this going to help my kid be more successful in life, be a good person, to be happy, that is the roadmap that will cause you and your child to be able to accomplish and get through anything. Now, here's the sticky one. Does your child not throwing their tumbling cause them to not be happy? You're right. Your child not throwing their tumbling makes them really upset. Your child not making the team they want makes them really upset. Your child going from a flyer to a base makes them really upset. Your child throwing their tumbling and then losing it again makes them really upset. And that is why we as parents get so upset and emotional about our child going through a mental block. But let me ask you this question. Will your child be happier in life if they get their tumbling back? Yes, in the moment, but we all know that happiness is super temporary. It is not like I get my tumbling back as an athlete and now I'm happy most or all the time. The reality is the same things outside of cheer, outside of tumbling are still going to make them upset. But this is what often happens, or which is misunderstood inside the mind of an athlete with a block. They think all of their unhappiness in life is coming from the fact that they're not tumbling. Think of how loaded that is. If this one thing, if I truly believe this is what a lot of it, if I truly believe me not throwing my back tuck is why I'm not happy in life right now. Imagine how much implicit pressure an athlete is feeling every time they go to throw that tumbling skill. That's intense, right? What we're going to talk about tonight is how that temporary happiness will not change the outcome over here. When they turn 18 and you're sending them off, they're getting their tumbling or not, will not change this. It will not change that trajectory, but the way in which they navigate this mental block will. Let me say that again, maybe in another way. The way in which they react or respond to their mental block will absolutely influence how happy they are in life, successful, probably not being a good person, but those first two. So I'm not saying anything other than we can use this setback to be a setup for your child to be successful later in life.